The Premier League is finally back, and you know what that means. It's finally time for our Match Day 17 predictions. And trust me, there's gonna be a lot of upsets in this video because I am bold. Alright, the first game for this Boxing Day is Brentford versus Tottenham. Now, this game is at 4:30 a.m. for me, so am I gonna watch this game? No, I won't. And anyways, this game doesn't really appeal to neutrals that much either. However, Tottenham do have to win this game because Manchester United are only 3 points behind them in the table. And also, Tottenham have lost 3 out of their last 5 games as well. But honestly, recent form does not matter that much for this game week. That's because the World Cup just happened, so we had no Premier League football for over a month. So we don't really know how these teams are going to play after a month-long break. However, Brentford are just doing what everyone expected of them this season, mid-table. And although Brentford are playing at home, I'm still going to go for a Tottenham win, and I think it's going to be 2-1. Harry Kane is also going to be bagging a brace in this game. Alright, the next game is Southampton versus Brighton. Dang, man, we got mid versus mid. Psych! Brighton's actually doing really good this season, and they're actually 7th place in the league right now. And this means they're above Chelsea in the standings as well. Big up Brighton, man. Massive respect to them. They're playing really well. Also, one of their players, McAllister, played a key role in Argentina's World Cup win, so clearly Brighton have some very good players in their squad. Now for Southampton, bro, they're in the mud. They're in the relegation zone and in 19th place, so it's not looking too good for them. So I think this prediction is a pretty easy one, and I'm gonna go for Brighton winning this game 2-0, regardless of whether McAllister is gonna play or not. Now next up, we got Leicester City versus Newcastle, and wow, this is gonna be a really good game. Now we all know about Leicester's quality, man. Even though they're 13th place in the table, they still got some really good players. Vardy is still kicking about. They got the legend James Maddison, who somehow didn't play a single minute at the World Cup, but that's Southgate's fault. And they also got Tielemans, who's still a baller to this day. However, Newcastle, man, that Saudi Arabian money is helping them out a ton. They're actually 3rd place in the Prem right now, and they've won the past 5 games they played. They're overperforming right now, and they have some really good players on fire too. Miguel Almiron is having one of them, and he's having one hell of a season. There's also the likes of Callum Wilson and St. Maximin, who are also helping out as well. Not to mention Bruno Guimaraes, who is keeping that Newcastle midfield steady. So this game is going to be a really tough one to predict, and I have a slight upset. I think this game ends up in a 2-2 draw. I know Newcastle were on a hot streak, but I think that month break for the World Cup is going to make Newcastle a little bit rusty, and they're going to drop points this game. Now moving on to the following game, we got Crystal Palace versus Fulham. Now this game might not be the most appealing to casuals, but bro, this game is going to be really intense. This is because both Fulham and Crystal Palace are tied on points, with Fulham being ahead by 1 goal difference. Whoever wins this game is going to have a pretty good spot at the top half of the table, while the loser is going to be around 14th to 15th place. So both Fulham and Palace are going to go for the win here. Now, although Fulham always love to sign American players like Anthony Robinson and Tim Ream, which is why I respect Fulham a lot, my heart thinks that Crystal Palace is going to win this really close game 1-0. And it's going to be due to a great Ole solo goal that will separate the two sides and give Palace the 3 points. Alright, let's move on to the next game where we got Everton versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, both Wolves and Everton are pretty well known around the globe. What y'all might have forgotten though is both of them are pretty garbage this season. Everton are only above the relegation zone by 1 point in 17th place, while Wolves are at rock bottom of the league with 10 points. It's not looking good for both clubs, and they're both fighting for survival this season. And we all know relegation battles, bro. They're entertaining. However, Wolves recently just got a new manager in Lopetegui, and he's a good manager, bro. He was about to manage Real Madrid until the whole drama happened all the way back in the 2018 World Cup. Anyways, due to Lopetegui being a good manager, I'm gonna have to back him and Wolves. That's why I'm gonna have to go for a 2-1 win for them in this game, and I think this managerial change will benefit Wolves tremendously. Now let's move on to Aston Villa versus my club, Liverpool. Now this season has been rather disappointing as a Liverpool fan like myself. We are nowhere near the level like we were last season. But even with us being really bad, we're still 6th place and are 7 points off the top 4 with half of the season remaining. So there's still a chance we can get top 4, so I'm praying that happens. Now for Aston Villa, they fired Steven Gerrard pretty recently and are currently mid-table. However, they have hired Unai Emery, and he's a very good manager. If Villa somehow make it to Europa League, bro, I would bet on them to win it because they have Unai Emery. Anyways, Villa do have a World Cup winning goalkeeper now with Emiliano Martinez, who's probably not going to join Bayern Munich and stay with Villa. However, with all this praise I'm giving to Villa, I'm still going to have to back my guys, man. I believe in them, so therefore, I'm going to say Liverpool are going to win this game 3-1, and I think Salah will bag a goal, and also will Darwin Nunez, even after his disappointing showing against City in the Carabao Cup. Alright, next up, we got Arsenal versus West Ham. Now, these clubs are on opposite sides in the league table. Arsenal are still on top of the league and are ahead of City by 5 points, while West Ham are fighting relegation and are at 14 points and in 16th place. Thing is though, West Ham have lost 3 of their last 3 games and are in terrible form. But because of this month break, I think it'll be a refresher for them. However, I can't be that bold with my predictions. Therefore, I think the game will be a 0-0 with West Ham dominating until the 88th minute, and that's when Bukayo Saka will score a clutch goal for the Gunners, and the end result will be a 1-0 win for Arsenal. Alright, now let's move on to Chelsea versus Bournemouth. This isn't going to be a walkover for Chelsea, man. It's going to be a pretty difficult match. Chelsea literally haven't won a Prem game in the last 5 games, and they're 8th place in the table with 21 points, while Bournemouth is in 14th place and only 5 points behind Chelsea. Bournemouth have not been that good either, but with this World Cup month break, I think that'll give them a good good clean slate for Bournemouth. And that's why I think both clubs will have a chance to win this game. However, with Chelsea playing at Stamford Bridge, I think they'll have the advantage, and I think Chelsea is going to win this game 2-0. And I'm praying Pulisic scores and silences the haters because he's had a crazy good World Cup performance last month, bro. I'm backing my boy. Now on to the second to last game, we got Manchester United versus Nottingham Forest. Now Nottingham have recently got promoted to the Prem this season, but they've been poor in their return to top flight football. They're 18th place and in the relegation zone. And before you haters come at me, yes, I know they beat Liverpool 1-0, but it doesn't matter, man. Nottingham are still cheeks this season. And also, Manchester United are actually performing decently well, being 5th place with 26 points. They also recently got a great win against Burnley in the Carabao Cup, which will give them good motivation going into the game against Nottingham. Plus, a lot of United players enjoyed a great World Cup showing. Lisandro Martinez won the competition with Argentina. Bruno Fernandes had a great performance with Portugal. Varane also did well for France, and Marcus Rashford balled out for England. With United being in great form, I think they're going to destroy Nottingham Forest 4-0, and I got Marcus Rashford scoring 2 goals. I think he's a rejuvenated man this season. He's on his redemption arc for real. Last but not least, we got Leeds United versus Manchester City. Now, Leeds United are actually rather low on the table, being 15th place. However, whenever you watch Leeds United this season, you know you're about to be entertained. They lost to Fulham in a 3-2 thriller, and then beat my club sadly in a 2-1 entertaining game, followed by a thrilling 4-3 win over Bournemouth, and then a 4-3 loss to Tottenham, and that was a super entertaining game. I think this game is going to be no different. I think it's going to be high scoring and very entertaining. After all, it's the way Jesse Marsch likes to play. Now, Manchester City are coming in hot after that 1-month World Cup break because Haaland has gotten some rest and now he's trained up. Also, with Belgium going out in the group stages, Kevin De Bruyne is also ready to go. Plus, Manchester City just got a win over Liverpool in the Carabao Cup 3-2, so their motivation must be sky high right now. However, right before break, City somehow lost to Brentford 2-1. Now, I know form isn't necessarily going to carry a month later, but it is pretty important to note that City have the capability of losing to teams they should beat this season. Therefore, with the biggest upset in the video, I actually have Leeds United winning this game at home 3-2. I got Everton scoring a big goal and Tyler Adams having a very good performance like he has been doing all season. Haaland will score a brace, but it won't be enough because I got Leeds winning this game. I'm not sure how, but I have a feeling they're gonna do it. Anyways, that's all for now. Let me know down in the comments whether you agree or disagree with my Matchday 17 predictions. Real quick though, remember to subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I drop a banger video. And also hit the like. Let's try reaching 200 likes this video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!